probably, half the room's thinking, oh, dude, we're that. The other half of the room is thinking, this was right on, it's right in line with what we want to do anyway. So the rest of the afternoon is really geared to helping you believe that you can do it. Okay? And we want to start off with how we plan to support you. And the first off is Facebook. Now, I said last night, one of the hints, I said this Facebook page that we've, or is it called a page or what's it called?
Group.
Pardon?
Group.
A group. Okay, it's a group. And by the way, if I don't have you on the group, it's because I couldn't find you on Facebook. So if you want to send us a request for a friend, then we can reply and we know who you are and we can get you on the group.
We learned yet again that you have to be very specific when you're asking a question of people. Suppose we send out an email saying, are you on Facebook? And half the people reply, yes.
Really, the question was, if you are on Facebook, how do I find you? You're using a picture of your dog, or what's on there so I can locate you. Anyway,
Name's a good place to start, isn't it?
Sorry?
Always.
Oh yeah, but there, if I put in David, now David Love, there might not be too many, but if I put in Susie Q, there's 100.
You need to ask them what email address they use for the account. There's a lot easier to try and find them.
Oh, can I search on email addresses then? I've got their email address. Okay.
It's got to be linked to their account. They may have a plain easy one, a personal one, a work one, and the work one they might use for their Facebook.
I'm not as techy as I look.
Good to have you back, Ray. It's good to have you back.
I'll do a user message for you.
Great. But that Facebook group is not just meant to continue on to tease you and try to give you hints and that sort of thing about what the big announcement is. What we want to use it for is to celebrate your successes, to announce to the world that you've gone up in your PSG by 500 points, or you just introduced this past period 3 people and you're really chuffed about it. Anything like that, where we can all then help you celebrate that, just by notes coming back saying this is great, keep going, and all that good stuff. Keep the focus on the successes. You can also use it for questions and answers, though, too. If someone is really stalled on something, I'm getting people in front of people, or I'm talking to them. They're interested in business, but I can't get them to come to the altar, or something like that. And we can all pitch in our 2 cents worth and get some answers. So the purpose of it is to keep us focused on the Red Sea Magic, making our businesses big, and so on. Alrighty. So we want to do that. We also have a proposal for. Let's say he would hand out pages for me if I remember to say that he's got a box of CDs, videos, all kinds of stuff for giveaway. Just sort of put your hand in, grab, and take them. Some of them are out of date, some conference things, but they're good to show to people, say this is the kind of conference that you can qualify for, that sort of stuff. We use that kind of stuff in our recruiting a fair bit. This list of workshops to support your big business is pretty simple. There's 8 workshops there. We want you to come to at least 5. It's a mix of sort of easy start, which is just that get people going, show them what the whole business is about, that kind of thing. A day long doing that. And easy sponsor, including the easy apps. How do you bring people into your team? And then interspersed with a couple of actual workshops on what I'm calling a big checkup. Okay, just focusing on keeping your mind and your head and your focus in the right direction. Okay, so that's it for the training series. Then Easy Reach obviously is there to ask questions again. It doesn't always have to be on Facebook or emails, but use Easy Reach, send up your successes, and we'll be happy to share those with the rest of the team. And chat, what we're going to do is sort of open the house, and we'll kind of work on this and get you some more dates and stuff. Oh, are we sure? Oh dear, here, no, take that. Did anybody else get missed? Oh, Keith, wait a minute.
Oh, there you go.
Anybody else?
It's part of the advert.
Did you guys get one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You can have them back then, Keith, if you really wanted. Yeah, open a house, say, for example, on a Saturday morning, 9 to 11 or 9 to 12 or something, just to come over and shoot the breeze, find out what's happening, stay dialed in. If you want sort of private time to talk about something specific to your business, then just let us know and we can make it set at 8 to 9. I don't care. It's tough. We got to fit it all. Yeah. But so a number of things that will help you along the way. So what I was saying earlier this morning, it's not all just coaching, but sometimes it's teaching people, especially new people that come in, what has to be done. So that would be, say, the easy start. Teaching people how to move forward with the team building. That would be the easy sponsor part, and so on. Okay, so that we see as sort of an important part of this. And the other is just to keep the communication going. Okay, that's it. Any questions on that? It's sort of easy stuff. Okay. I think that's all we have on that then. Steve, we are what? Oh, should I introduce you? You are my hero. Go for it. There you go.
Okay. This is going to look familiar to some people here. Some of you have seen me talk about this before, but it's a subject dear to my heart because I know that there are people in the room who have already looked at the criteria for the cruise and said, I don't think I can do that. It's too big. And are possibly already coming up with reasons why not. How do I know that? Well, I know that because I'm 65 and I've been doing just that for a lot longer than most of you here. When Mike and Amanda told us what their criteria was, we were over at their place and they told us about the announcement they made. That was my first reaction. That's too big, I can't do that. And why do we do that? Why do we make that statement? Well, we make that statement because we haven't done it before. Mike and Amanda's challenge is to get to 35,000 PSG in 2 years. 35,000! We've never done that. Why are we going to be able to do it in the next 2 years? There are people here who haven't done 10,000. There are people here who haven't done 10,000 ever. And it's human nature to say, well, why? I can't do that, I've never done it. And that's where you need a change in thinking. And I think you might get a bit of tough talking from me, and I know bloody well you'll get a bit of tough talking from Mike a bit later on. Because there's an old saying, the past does not equal the future. Just because you've never done something doesn't mean you can't do it in the next couple of years. It's just a choice. Now, that says 100-0. 100% accountability is a favourite subject of mine. And when I talk about 100% accountability, what I'm talking about is that we're all, if we accept that we're all 100% responsible for how we react to anything that happens to us. And Amanda alluded to this. Something bad happens. It's not that something bad has happened to you. It's what you do next that matters. And I always think road rage is a prime example. If somebody cuts you off on the motorway, your natural instinct is to go chase after them and stick two fingers up at them. What good does that do to anybody? All it does is raise your blood pressure. The guy you're doing it to is probably shrugging his shoulders anyway because he doesn't care. Next time that happens to you, try slowing down. Because it's not your problem, it's his problem. He's in a hurry to get somewhere. He'll have his heart attack before you do. Drop back and sort of smile and say, doesn't matter. and see how that feels. Because it's a very powerful feeling, because what it does is put you in control of the situation. And it's the same with this. You are in control of your business. You're in control of that 10,000 point number. Now, there are people in this room who've just started. And the people in this room who've just started are saying, yeah, I can do that. Because they are in that first flush of enthusiasm. Good things are happening. They're starting to understand how the business works. You know, if they keep on with that level of enthusiasm, it'll rub off on people. And that 10,000 figure will be simply a stepping stone. And they'll likely do it a lot more quickly than period 12, 2013. Because they have that enthusiasm. And those of us who are saying, oh, I can't do that because I haven't done it before, need an injection of that enthusiasm. So treat the business like you just started. Treat the business yourself like you would want somebody new in your team to treat it. So what does zero stand for? We've got 100% responsibility. Somebody who hasn't seen this before, what do you think we should be having 0% of? What do we all do? Negativity. It certainly is negativity. Blame. Okay. What does everybody do when things don't happen for them? So make excuses, and it's the same idea. They're making excuses. Your excuse might be to blame other people, blame the fact that it's raining, blame the fact that dog got sick, blame anything. Blame anything but looking in the mirror. And when things don't happen, that's the only place to look. Because no matter what it is that happens to you, it's not that thing that matters, it's what you do next. It's how you react to whatever's happened. And there are many, many extreme examples, but just believe the fact that if you are in control of how you react to anything, it's a very powerful position to be in. No one has ever excused their way to success. And excuses are the tools with which persons with no purpose in view build themselves great monuments of nothing. I love that. But that's all we hear a lot of the time, is excuses. I can't come to this meeting because it's my great-nephew's birthday. And you think your great-nephew is going to be concerned if you're not there for their birthday? I always remember Peter White saying, when they were building the business, he had young grandchildren, and he wasn't there for a lot of the time. He said, do you think they care now? So they can come to our place in Spain whenever they want to, we can take them here, we can do this for them. Do you think they remember that we weren't around when they were younger? Don't use those things as excuses for not doing something. So accept responsibility for your results. Okay? Accept responsibility for the fact that you are where you are now, and move forward. Move forward in the knowledge that you can be better, be greater, be bigger, bolder, more inspirational than you are now. So stop blaming external factors. Because people that take charge of the quality and direction of their lives, rather than being victims of circumstance, are empowered to move forward. People like that tend to focus on solutions rather than problems. So if all you can see in life is why not, the problems that crop up in everyday life, if that's all you can focus on, then you won't move ahead because you're stuck looking at those problems. Typically those problems are not as serious as they seem to be at the time. They are an excuse not to get out there and move ahead. And it's really about choices. When we make choices, every step of the way. When we get up in the morning, we make a choice. And you know, you can make a choice as to how you feel. Has anybody ever woken up in the morning and you're slightly headachy? Maybe you had a couple more too much to drink the night before, or you're slightly headachy. You're just not feeling great, and you just really don't want to do something. And something good happens. You hear a piece of music you like, or somebody phones you up and says, "I'd like to join your business," or whatever it is. And all of a sudden, an hour later, you realise that what you were feeling when you woke up isn't there anymore. And you're feeling great because something positive has happened. You can actually make that choice when you get up in the morning that today is going to be a great day. It's sure better than waking up in the morning saying today is going to be a lousy day, because if you make that choice, guess what? Today will be a lousy day. You've just got to believe that it is a choice you can make. Oh dear. Why have I got no sound? That's on.
You still got more mic to get.
No, I've plugged it back into mine. That's it, it's plugged in. Bear with me for a second. Why might that be? Any ideas?
The volume's down.
Well, it could be, I suppose. The speakers are on. Talk amongst yourselves for half a second. I'm going to check that. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Yeah, it's up.
So the volume's up in the PC and on the PowerPoint.
I haven't changed anything on the
Is it
PowerPoint.
plugged into the right hole? Is it plugged into the right hole down there? It's not in the microphone.
It's in the green one.
It's not in the microphone, is it? Rather than the speaker.
No. Yeah, well, it is. I mean, it was in the green one before.
Can I help you worry, or?
Well, we can't do it, but I just don't understand.
Well, we've got a couple of videos.
Yeah,
Have we plugged it into Mike's computer?
we did, but we unplugged it and plugged it back in again. That's in the right hole.
Back to this one, is it?
That's definitely in the microphone one.
You know, and
Hey,
there's a
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
It's coming.
I can hear it.
Okay, Will Smith is an actor that most people know about, but what a lot of people don't know is Will Smith has bought into this thing called the law of attraction quite seriously.
you know, and there's a redemptive power that making a choice has, you know, rather than feeling like you're at effect to all the things that are happening. Make a choice, right? You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide. And then from that point, the universe is going to get out your way. It's like it's water. It wants to move and go around stuff, you know. So for me, I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. One of my favorite books is The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho, and I just believe that. I believe that I can create whatever I want to create. If I can put my head on it right, study it, learn the patterns, and, you know, it's hard to put into words. It's real metaphysical, esoteric nonsense. But I feel very strongly that we are who we choose to be.
Did you hear that last phrase? We are who we choose to be. So Mike and Amanda aren't where they are in the business because of luck. or because of anything else except that's where they decided to be. So we look at people like Mike and Amanda and Bob Webb and Peter Ray and all those people and say, oh yeah, well, it's all right for them, but they're there because that's where they decided to be. It's a very powerful thought. Somebody else who made some very good choices. This is a little before most of your time, but this guy is a particular hero of mine. His name is Douglas Bader. And what's unusual about the guy playing golf, Douglas Bader, is that he has no legs. He was injured in an air crash that was entirely his fault. I mean, this is in 1933, I think he had a plane crash. And he was at a point where he had some choices to make. He could have decided to be a cripple for the rest of his life. Nobody would have blamed him for relying on other people, and like a victim circumstance, relying on other people for the rest of his life. Isn't that what probably the majority of people in his situation would do? He made different choices. When he went to Roehampton to get his artificial limbs fitted, he was handed a stick. And he was told, you've just got to accept the fact that you'll never walk without a stick. What was his reaction? Damn that. He said, I'll never walk with one. And he never did. And he went on to play golf to an 8 handicap. Can you imagine? Does anybody play golf here? Yeah. Can you imagine trying to hit a golf ball bouncing on 2 artificial legs? Even trying to hit the ball. And he went on to play golf to an 8 handicap, which puts him probably playing golf better than 90% of all golfers in the world. That's pretty powerful stuff. And he persuaded the RAF that he could fly Spitfires. Went on to be one of the premier fighter pilots in World War II. He was captured by the Germans, and the only way they could keep him from escaping was to take his legs away. Reach for the sky. Yeah. If you can lay your hands on the book that was written about him called Reach for the Sky, it's a very inspirational book. Not a personal development book, but it's a story of somebody making the right choices and leading a very, very fulfilling life when he might have just said, oh, sod this, and I'm crippled. There's another guy that made some unbelievable choices. Having been jailed for 27 years, when he walked out of prison, what was his choice? A lot of people would have said, now we'll get him. You have the majority of people on his side. Now we'll get him back. What was his choice? Now we must forgive them. And it took a long time before people of his colour could accept the fact that the only alternative was to forgive. His wife could never accept that. And that was the end of them. But look at the figure that Nelson Mandela has become in the world. Simply because he made a choice. So what choices will you make? Are you in? Are you in on this challenge? If you are in on this, on your seats is a postcard. What do we want to do with it, Rose?
Right, I'm in.
Right, I'm in.
If you are.
If you're in.
Put your name on it.
Put your name on it.
Give it to us.
You give it to us. We want to know that you're in. We want to know what kind of commitment you're making. Your upline wants to know what commitment their teams are making, so that we can all help you join us on that Red Sea cruise. I still can't believe that when we put that hint out on Facebook, nobody clued in. Next.
Okay, next, you want to fiddle with the computer a little bit, and I think it's time we gave away more of Michael Ketkar's retail catalogs. So this time, let's give 2 away. Let's say one to the little tiny differences that will make a winning gold medal performance, and what you can do. symbols. Okay, what I want to do now, just before we go on, is like that coaching video that Karen saw, let's list all the things that we need to do well to perform better. And in this video that Karen was alluding to in her message was on a coaching that was an Olympic